Okay, and hey guys, welcome to the Idiot's Guide to Bad Welding. Now, some people say that welding is difficult. It is not. Good welding is difficult. And today we are be doing the episode tutorial on bad welding. Now, this is just going to be, I guess, like a simple version of, how to weld. Not really, anything delightful. I personally wouldn't really use this in practical effect, more for entertainment if you ask me. But anyway, let's just get on into this episode. Now, welding is a lot like hot gluing. So basically, if you know how to use a hot glue gun, you know how to use a welder. Because frankly, they're both very similar. This uses plastics and whatever else is in the hot glue to basically melt together, and it basically sticks and melts onto the cardboard, wherever you're hot gluing. Now, a welder, it basically melts the metal, and then it adds some metal in the middle to add the metal to the metal so that the metal sticks together. Now, that's the basis of welding. And then there's some things to point out about it. So, first off, is that for welding, it's a little bit more dangerous than a hot glue gun. Say you accidentally, ow, that will hurt, but if you get hit by basically melted metal beads flying in the air, it'll kind of hurt. But, I mean, I haven't been hit by too many of them, so I wouldn't exactly be the best person to talk about that. But basically, another thing to take into account is that welding is very bright. You basically go blind if you don't have protection. So I will now briefly go over the protection you will need for the welding. Alright, there are two basic components to the safety of welding. And the first one is thick leather gloves. Now, these are used so that when you are using the welder, you don't burn your hands and get UV radiation on them. So that's all nice and well. But there's a little bit more important piece, and that's the mask. I mean, this one's just the Chicago Electric one, but this is the thing that makes it so that if you're looking at a welder, you don't go blind. Very, very important. Now, another thing that people like doing is having, a jacket on and closed-toed shoes, which, yeah, you're going to be a lot safer if you wear them, but no one's stopping you from welding in sandals. You just might burn your feet. So yeah, that is the safety protection section of the welding. Next up is my loadout personally. So you can see what a bad welder looks like, and you can copy that. Okay, so here we can see the equipment that I personally use, and I'll go over it real fast. Starting up here, we have these things. I think they're called birdhouses due to their resemblance of a birdhouse. Basically, these are magnets that you can stick together and take two pieces of metal and make a 90-degree or 45-degree angle on, which are pretty neat. They help me out a lot. And then next, this is just some extra basically welding wire, filament, spool, solder, whatever you want to call it. And so that's nice and all. And then next I have here is some wire cutters, because sometimes the spool at the end of the welder gets bent and you're going to have to cut it off. And then so next up we have the welding gun, part of the welder. The electrocution clamp, as I like to call it, or the alligator, also part of the welder. And then, like I said before, this is the welding helmet. Then there's the gloves. And I personally also like to use a apron just to protect my body in general. And then down here we have the actual welder, which is let's get to this side. Chicago Electric welder. This is the second or third cheapest welder, so don't expect to have anything amazing out of this, but I'd say it gets the job done. And from a bad welder's perspective like mine, it works just fine. So yes, now I'll be going through standard welding procedure next. Okay, so we're going to attach this little rebar thing to this little holder thing. I don't really know what it's called, but yeah, so now is the standard welding procedure. And the first thing you want to do is not that. It's the second thing you want to do. The first thing you want to do is actually make sure your welder's turned on. Now, I didn't plug this in like an idiot, so now I'm going to have to do that. And I'd say most welders use a mixture of gases to create the heat or energy or whatever to to basically make it so that the metal melts. But, I mean, like I said, I have the electric cheap one, which works. So yeah, this is the first step, turn it on. It got that light so that you know it's on. There's optimal settings on there wire speed and whatnot. But yeah, next thing you want to do is take the magic electrical clamp taser thingy basically the electrical output that, I don't know, I'm not an electrician, I'm going to say it grounds it. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not. Like I said, it's a bad welding video. And yeah, what you want to do is that now it's connected, you got to take your mask on. And also I'd say put your safety things on. But honestly, honestly not. I don't have anything to say about that. I am just going to show you what it does. And I'm not going to blind myself, and I don't think you're going to blind yourself. But yeah, hopefully this works. It probably won't. So as you can see, it didn't in fact work. However, it did manage to stick onto this one sec. You can usually just do that to get it off, but like it makes the wire all hot and whatnot. But yeah, I guess I'll just start like welding onto this piece of rebar instead of this, because this, I guess we just don't need for this video. So yeah, some more of that. I'm going to go put my glove on and we'll continue. I really hope this doesn't destroy my camera. Last time it didn't seem to. But as we can see, we have a bad weld. Oh, and I completely forgot something until now. Ventilation. Ventilation is pretty important if you don't want to get lung cancer. Unfortunately for me, I don't exactly have a fan. I'd probably invest into that sometime soon. But yeah, there's your little lesson in low quality welding. It's like hot glue, but dangerous. It's like the, I don't know, like hot glue adult version. I don't know really what to call it, but yeah, there is your tutorial on low quality welding, and now you can go into the workforce and work for the government. Don't do that, that's a bad idea. You're unqualified.